Everybody, and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and how a recent CNN poll, which goes in line with many recent polls that we have been seeing coming out of the presidential race, the CNN poll showed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at an astonishing 16% in the state of Pennsylvania and 18% in Michigan. Now, this is incredible on so many levels, but I mean, especially when you just consider how close these races are in presidential elections. I mean, presidential elections stake on basically 6 states, how 6 states vote. That's Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. So here are the results from 2016. And Donald Trump won Wisconsin by 0.76%. He won Michigan by 0.22%, and he won Pennsylvania by 0.72. So, 0.2 in Michigan and 0.7 in Pennsylvania. And polling this time around is showing not only Kennedy at 16 in Pennsylvania and 18 in Michigan, but also 4% for Cornel West in each state. So that is 20% of the vote going to independent candidates in 2024 in Pennsylvania and 22% in Michigan. And that's not even including whoever the Libertarian Party will put up. That's not even including Jill Stein of the Green Party or any of the other third party candidates or independents who will get ballot access in the state of Pennsylvania. That's not even counting them. This is just 2 independent candidates, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Cornel West. They have 20% combined in Pennsylvania and 22% combined in Michigan. And again, just to highlight, just to emphasize how important that is, 20% in Pennsylvania when Trump won it by 0.7 and 0.2 in Michigan he won it by, and now Kennedy and West are getting 22% of the vote. So obviously, that vote being stolen away, that all important, every vote counts in these close elections in Michigan and Pennsylvania. I mean, Trump won it by, let's see, when you look at the actual raw vote total, in 2020, Biden won Pennsylvania by about 150,000 votes, and in 2016, Donald Trump won the state by under 11,000 votes. 11,000. And then when you consider that 20% of this vote, so I don't know, about 500,000 or so, when Trump only went by 11,000, are going to other candidates, it just makes this election so much more interesting with all of these third-party candidates. I mean, they are really completely changing this election, and they add an entire new factor that we really haven't had to talk about in presidential elections really since Ross Perot in 1992. I mean, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is polling the best for an independent or third-party candidate ever since Ross Perot in 1992. When you consider all of the third-party candidates combined, that's better than Ross Perot, and it might be the best since Teddy Roosevelt in 1912, which is from the Progressive Party, which is really historic. So the point is, they add a whole other factor in this race, and the question arises of who will they steal more votes from, Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I mean, that will determine how this election will play out. And we are seeing such close polls nationwide. When Trump in the three-way race is ahead of Biden by 4.3%. And you can see how Kennedy at 15% on the dot is replicating, really, the CNN poll in Michigan and Pennsylvania. He's replicating that nationwide. This is not just a Rust Belt blue-collar worker, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin thing. No, this is nationwide. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is getting 15% of the vote nationwide. That is tens of millions of votes, not tens of millions, millions, almost tens of millions. Um, and that has such an enormous effect when you look at these close elections in American presidential elections. Biden won Wisconsin in 2020 by 0.6, Michigan by 2.8, Pennsylvania by 1.2, Georgia by 0.2, Arizona by 0.3, Nevada by 0.2. So, media and stuff doesn't talk about Kennedy a lot, but when you could just consider how, how because of the Electoral College, American presidential elections, again, determine how 6 states vote, those 6 states. And when Kennedy is, getting 20% in Michigan and Pennsylvania, and who knows, 10 to 15 to 20 in the rest of these, it really shakes things up. And it just makes it so much harder to, not even predict a winner, but to really grasp what is going on in this presidential election, to really understand where at all these Kennedy and Cornel West and Jill Stein and libertarian voters are stealing from, where they're coming from, because it will make all the difference. I mean, that is a determining factor. When when third party candidates together are getting 20 or more percent of the vote, and you've got a state like Georgia where Biden won by just 0.2. I mean, the result will be drastically different, with third party candidates than without. And we're barely even talking about, it seems like, third party candidates in this election. But when you look further into this poll, moving on to a different note here, you can see that in these, additional questions that they ask in the poll, fewer than 1/5 of those of voters backing Kennedy and West say they are enthusiastic about them. And that really does make sense when you think about it. I mean, these are third party candidates polling at historic numbers, and that is because of this dissatisfaction with the Biden Trump rematch and the two-party system. I mean, we have such a rise of third party candidates in this 2024 election. I mean, who would have expected Kennedy would be at 15% nationwide? Cornel West would be at, 4 or 5% in some cases, um, among voters. We've got numerous other third parties. We're still waiting on whoever the Libertarian Party will put up. They will probably expand on their 2020 vote total. Um, and then, you've got Jill Stein polling better than she did in 2012 and 2016. And this is all due to the fact that people are so unhappy with this rematch, with this Trump Biden rematch. I mean, this is the rematch that literally nobody wanted. The vast majority of Americans would not like this Biden Trump rematch. They'd prefer a different presidential matchup. And the majority don't like at all either Trump or Biden. They don't even like them at all. So this all results in an abundance of support for third party and independent candidates. There is much more consideration this time around. Even as much as the media says, this is not the time for third party candidates, and however, many times politicians, members of Congress might say, yes, I'm open to third parties, but not this year in this critical election. That is not the same thought process as many American voters. And the polling that shows Kennedy at 18 in Michigan, 16 in Pennsylvania, 15 nationwide reflects just that. People don't care really about that, what these Congress people are saying. And they are really exploring alternatives because a lot of people don't really see themselves, in any reality, at all, possibly, voting for Joe Biden or Donald Trump. So, this poll was really astonishing in my opinion. This poll that showed Kennedy and West together at 20 in Pennsylvania, 22 in Michigan, and it just furthermore proves how all important these third-party candidates will be in 2024. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you all go ahead and subscribe. That would help me a lot. More unbiased, independent media and predictions. Very important for for political politics enjoyers like ourselves. So thank you all again for watching this video. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.